All right, so walking on these floor joists is probably not something you want to do without the plywood being on here.
Welcome back to this week's video. Today we were supposed to start the floor joists, but we ran into some problems, and I'm gonna talk about that. So when our framers showed up, they came in, they're ready to start the floor joists. The problem is we don't have 18-inch clearance for the crawl space. If they set down all the floor joists, then we weren't gonna be able to remove all this dirt, then we wouldn't pass our floor joist inspection. So now they had to leave. We got to find new guys to come take out all this dirt, get us the 18-inch clearance of our crawl space that we need, then we can start our floor joists. At the last minute, we found some guys to come in and take out all this dirt by hand. They just got shovels and wheelbarrows and wheelbarrowed it all out to the backyard. The dirt is gone out of our foundation. We have the 18-inch clearance, minimum 18-inch clearance that we need, and now we're ready to start our floor joists. So that's what we're gonna do today. We do have a bunch of dirt left over that we're gonna have to figure out what to do with, but at least we can get to framing starting today. So right now they're cleaning off all the anchor bolts so that they'll be ready for the nuts that are gonna go on here. So we're gonna put a sill plate, which is the plate that touches the concrete. It's treated lumber. It's a special type of lumber that's like engineered for touching concrete. Can't use not treated lumber. And these anchor bolts are what's gonna hold down that treated lumber. There's a lot of times where you notice something on the job site that requires a trip to Home Depot. So that's what we got to do right now. I got to go to Home Depot and rent the tool and use that to break up some of the concrete to pull some forms out that were stuck in the concrete. So let's go. Little unwritten rule for you guys. It's nice to have a Home Depot close by your job sites, or Lowe's, whatever floats your boat. Either one works, I guess. Having a hardware store nearby that you can run to when there's things you're missing is really helpful. They do charge more than some of the specialty shops, but you pay for convenience. So I got this, it's a 11-pound demolition hammer. So we're gonna break some of the concrete where our forms got stuck. We had some concrete spillage which caused the wooden forms to get stuck where they are. So I'm gonna have to break a little bit around them so that we can pull that wood out so it doesn't stay on the foundation. Now that I have gloves on, safety first.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
All right, so it's a couple days later. We're back on the job site. I finally got Sam over here. I went to Walmart this morning and bought this hat because it's a really hot day today. But as you can see, it's not really helping because I'm sweating all over.
You see Eddie's sweating and I'm not. He has like a natural sweater thing going on under that t-shirt. It's not that hot, guys, trust me. It's pretty hot, but it's not that hot. I'm gonna take you guys over. We're gonna talk about the floor joists. We have most of them done. We're gonna wrap up the rest of it today. I'm gonna act like I know what I'm talking about and show you guys things. So let's go over there. I'm gonna start off by saying, excuse any of my wrong verbiage. Anything that I say that is incorrect, this is all stuff that I'm still learning and I'm getting to understand. So I'm gonna teach you guys things that I kind of figured out or I saw that I found to be interesting. One of these things is, so we got foundation down the center of the house and on the sides all the way around. Those would be the load-bearing walls. In the middle, we also have a load-bearing wall, or at least that's what I think it's gonna end up being. And there's beams here. These pads that were set, you can see this one's bumped up a little bit higher than this one, and I realized when they were pouring it that they weren't leveled. They level it out using these 4x6s so that the floor is straight. I also wanna show you guys the accesses that go from one side of the crawl space to the other side. So this house is essentially split in two. So it's like two different strips and you need access from one side to the other side. So we have these little access points made that are 24 by 18 inches. And the interesting part about that is that they actually put on headers, which is a bigger piece of wood that's created there as stabilization for the rest of the house. All right, so walking on these floor joists is probably not something you want to do without the plywood being on here, but it makes for a cool shot, so we're doing it. I'm just trying to be extra careful here. To kind of go over the steps and how we've understood the steps to building a house, once the floor joists go in, you can't just slap on the plywood. We're in Los Angeles, California, so this might differ from state, from localities, from different regulation agencies. But here, once we do this, we got to get rough plumbing, and if there's any electrical that's going to go underneath the house, all of that needs to be done. The inspector's going to come through, he's going to check everything, make sure everything's right. They're going to pressure test the water pipes, make sure there's no leaks, there's no anything like that. And once they do all that, they'll give us the okay to lay insulation. So once we lay insulation in between these beams, it's going to be all the way throughout the house. That's to trap hot air from going in and out of the house. I know that Los Angeles or California as a whole has a little bit of a higher rating in terms of what level of heat containment they want versus other states, and that's just to be energy safe and, you know, yada yada, all the stuff that, to be honest with you, I don't really understand. I don't get it, not my expertise. Once all that is set, they'll allow us to hit the plywood on here. Something interesting that we figured out when we were buying the lumber for this portion of the framing is the plywood. So usually, I guess you don't use plywood for the floor sheathing. You use OSB, which is like particle board compacted together. But based on everything that's going on right now, OSB, number one, doesn't exist. And if it does, it costs more than plywood. Plywood is a better material. The guy that was selling us the lumber, he said, hey, go with the plywood. You're gonna save money. It's available if you need more. And there's no point. You're getting a lesser material for more of a cost and more of a headache. So it's a little interesting process we're going on through here. We're facing a lot of issues that a lot of developers or property flippers or stuff would not ever face. We're in a weird time right now and we're just figuring it out. Once we get all of this wrapped up, we're gonna get the plumbers to come out here tomorrow and start on that process. Floor joists are in. That means that now this has become a hard hat area. Safety comes first. Plumbers are on their way. They're gonna start doing all that. We're gonna talk to them and we're gonna talk about what they're doing and what they need to get accomplished. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like right now, thumbs up, and we'll tell you how to wear the hard hat properly, because I don't know what the heck Eddie's doing.
What do you mean? This isn't how you wear it?
You gotta take your hat off, man.
Oh, man.